the Tristar Gym channel. In this video, I'm going to be doing a roll narration. First sequence here is my partner dropping in on a single leg and me dropping into a darce. The darce is a fantastic way to stop somebody from taking you down, and I think it's a very effective method because he either has to defend the darce or give up the takedown, and he doesn't have the choice to do both. So what I do is when somebody grabs my leg, I often, if I feel I can fit my whizzer in, see my right arm there, that's my whizzer. If I feel I could fit it around his neck, if I can rotate around to the other side of his neck, I will do it, because if I get that squeeze on the neck, he's going to let go of my leg. If he lets go of my leg, I will get back to my knees and or finish the choke. So either way, I'm going to either defend this takedown or I'm going to score big and get the choke. So it's a really, really good response in my opinion. If you know how to use your darce, if you're adept with the darce, it's a great move. In the Tristar Gym, we often start on the ground, but we do sometimes also start standing up. We do also a lot of wrestling. Here's me going into a knee pick here, an ankle pick. I think it was a knee pick actually. And my partner kind of jumped web guard, but if you notice, his leg got caught in the middle. I think his leg, he wanted to go to full guard here and then wrap me up. But his leg gets caught in the middle, and what is he going to do? He's going to probably grab my knee or ankle here and just transition to a leg lock. I think pulling web guard is a really good idea, especially when you know you're about to get taken down. When you feel you can't stop the takedown, pull guard, but pull it in a way that makes sense. Pull it in a way that's going to put your partner straight into a sweep or submission. Now, right there, I did the teleport. I took his back. If you guys have seen, I did a tutorial on that not very recently, about a month ago. So look into the playlist and you'll find that tutorial if you're interested in seeing that move. Here's a very interesting sequence here. I'm grabbing my partner at the waist here. Watch here. I like a lot of body locks. I like to do body locks. As I go for it, he's going to try to jump a guillotine. One good thing you can do against guillotines is posture up. Look up at the ceiling, exactly like I'm doing. So the guillotine is too far away. And if he reaches for it, I'll be able to duck under and take his back. Now, here's another great example of pulling guard. Here I have him locked at the waist. He knows he's going to get taken down here. I'm just one lift away from putting him on his back. What's he going to do? He's going to do the smart thing. He's just going to bail out of the takedown and just jump to web guard. He's going to jump to a leg lock here and put me back on defense. Here I have to high knee to avoid his takedowns. He's doing the right thing here and avoiding my takedown. Here's me again on the leg. Looks like he's fishing for Kimura here. I get the body lock again. I'm assuming he's just going to jump guard again. You see that? I'm hiking him up. I was just about to do a knee tap here, but he spoiled the party by jumping web guard again. So now that he jumped the guard, all he's got to do is let himself fall and again attempt another leg lock attempt. Now, of course, at Tristar, we do a lot of leg locks. So it makes it for a really good counter against wrestling. That's one reason why I really emphasize leg locks, because it stops takedowns. It's just a clever way to avoid takedowns. And if you know your leg locks, you know how that works. And I really feel that it's ridiculous that a lot of jiu-jitsu schools don't do leg locks. It would be like boxers saying we don't want to do uppercuts. Why would you want to weaken your art? It's just such a powerful element to jiu-jitsu. I'm all for leg locks. So here I'm on another single leg attack here, a high crotch attack. My partner is going for a guillotine. Watch what I'm going to do here. I think I'm going to duck under, of course, lock the waist, try to posture out and take the back. It's another very good option against guillotine attacks. Here I'm transitioning to an armbar. And when somebody's trying to armbar you, the number one thing you want to do, in my opinion, of course, if you're not able to escape your elbow, I would say escaping the elbow is the number one thing. The second most important thing, is exactly what I was about to say, is protecting against this leg. This is the danger leg. See, if he can control my leg, if he can control this leg, he's perfectly safe. So what I need to do with this leg, I need to put it in front of his face. See what I'm doing there? I'm trying to put it in front of his face. Or I can put my instep behind his neck. If I get either one of those two grips with my leg, see here, I'm trying to put the leg in front of his face. He's doing a good job. It's not on yet. All he would have to do, in my opinion, is just use his hand to control this ankle. If he were to connect his hand to that ankle right now, it would make it really, really hard for me to finish the armbar. But instead of trapping this ankle, he chose to trap this one, which is the wrong ankle in my opinion. You shouldn't want to trap this ankle, because if he's trapping my right ankle here, I'm pretty sure I'm just going to strip off his grip here. You see that? I'm going to be able to successfully strip off his grip and then go back to my armbar attack. So there's one correct leg to trap, and that's the one that's trying to attack your head. You see that? Because he didn't control the right foot, he's probably going to end up getting armbarred here. Here he has a Mataleon defense, which is kind of, I don't want to say easy to break through, but it's not super strong as a defense as well. So there I was just able to undo his arms quite simply and just armbar him. Now my partner gets in on a nice double leg. And here's another reason why I love doing jiu-jitsu and wrestling together, because it gives for very interesting sequences. You see how my partner got a nice double leg here? And as he was putting me in as he was taking me down, I'm already fishing for my butterfly guard. Here's a lift. When I make him lift, when I force him into a lift here, he has to base his arm. If he doesn't base his arm here, he's gonna get swept. So he chose to base his arm instead of sweeping. And here I'm probably gonna do a snap down sweep. So watch here. I'm gonna snap his head down to the mat. This is a move I learned from Gordon Ryan, which I must say he does it a lot. You know, he does it super well. And I learned it by watching him. Just by watching him do this move, I started picking it up and started doing it myself, because it's such a powerful technique. But I wouldn't have thought it was so powerful until I saw him do it. You know, he was really doing it on high caliber guys, high level guys. And once I saw him do that, I was like, it's something I gotta add to my arsenal. So I do definitely use this sweep a lot now, the snap down sweep. Just trap your partner's head, bring it down to the mat. Let me show that again real quick. As I do the pinch armbar here, I'm in a pinch. Typically when you're in a pinch, you want to sweep your opponent to this direction. But because he knows that sometimes what they do is they transfer their weight in this direction, trying to avoid your sweep. So you got to be able to sweep the guy in both directions. So as I feel my partner putting his weight on the far side towards my left side, look how I bend his head down towards the mat, and I turn that into a guillotine as well and sweep him with my hooks. It's quite an effortless sweep. If your opponent is working in that direction, if he's dropping his weight in that direction, it makes for quite an easy sweep. Here's a front headlock. That's a failed front headlock attempt. Here's some more body lock action. I think he's probably going to jump guard again, because that's what he's been doing every time I body lock. And here he gets into a nice web guard, lands into an estima sweep. Notice how he's on his shoulders. He should get the sweep. You know, if you see, he let go of the leg too early. You see, he didn't finish the sweep because you see this hold he has on the leg here. He had to maintain that hold throughout the entire sweep. Unfortunately for him, he lets it go. Once he lets it go, I'm able to escape and get back to my knees. Simple mistake, but something to look out for in the future. Whenever you do a pendulum sweep or an estima lock sweep, estima guard sweep, excuse me, you should hang on to that leg all the way through. Here's some more body lock action. Here, I think he's thinking of jumping guard again. He's been doing it the whole roll here. Here I got to the back. He's going to try to bust a lock. Bust a lock is when you try to separate the hands. See here, he's trying to separate my hands. As he goes for it, I'm going to go into a crotch lift and take him down. And this is what I love. You know, when you take somebody down in BJJ class, especially at Tristar, because everybody does leg locks at Tristar, he's going to jump right into a leg lock sequence. And this just makes for really interesting sequences. You know, it's kind of wrestling versus jiu-jitsu. And I think it's really something you don't see a lot in jiu-jitsu schools, because everybody starts on the ground, but you're missing out on all these this incredible dimension of jiu-jitsu. So here he's transitioning to 50-50, a position we love very much at Tristar. Big believer in 50-50. I think it's a great position. Here's me trying to break his grip, trying to escape the 50-50. There's a little more stand-up here. My partner shoots. Again, always when I'm shooting, I'm trying to avoid the guillotine. There's a nice little scissor sweep I like to do. I saw this move happen. I saw this move used first by Kendall Cross in the Olympics. He's a gold medalist, American wrestler, gold medalist, and this is a beautiful little sweep. I'm actually the only guy in the gym that does this sweep. I've showed it to many guys, but most people just don't feel comfortable dropping to their knee. I'm very comfortable with dropping to my knee if I feel that it's there. I kind of hit this move. I hit this move quite a bit. Here my partner's doing a really good job scrambling into my ankles here. You see how he's fending me off? I have to back up or he'll probably slip into a leg lock position. So it's a great way for him to keep the pressure off, keep me from pressure passing. Here he made a mistake though, and this is a crucial mistake. See how he comes up out of his inverted guard. Watch what he's going to do here. He's going to come up and he's going to put his head into the hornet's nest. Now watch here. This is what I call the hornet's nest here. See this space right here. Whenever you're getting up to your knees, you never put your head into the hornet's nest. If you put your head in this circle right here, anywhere within this circle is super dangerous. Jiu-Jitsu is too powerful in this position. The guy on top has a monstrous advantage on you. Number one, he could sprawl and take your back. Putting your head in this area is a big no-no. Two, he can guillotine, he can darce, He can do the anaconda. He can do triangle. He can triangle choke. He can kimura. I mean, he could basically do everything, every move in the book. You know, you just never put your head into the hornet's nest. Whenever you come up to your knees, do not put your head in this area. This is a no-no area. Where do you want to put your head? You want to put your head, actually from this position right now, I would sit back to guard. I would definitely not try to get up. The other thing I like to do is control the hands. Control at least one of the two hands and get up, controlling my partner's hand, but not putting my head in his lap here. I'm not putting my head in his lap. That's the hornet's nest. That's a bad place to be. You don't want to go there. Let's see what happens. There you go. He falls into the hornet's nest, and there you go. He finds himself in another dars. He's probably going to get tapped here. When getting up to your knees, avoid the hornet's nest. Try to sit back to guard or try to fight the hands. Grab hold of the hand. You know, you need to control the hand so he can't go to dars, he can't go to kimura, and then you can kind of stand back up. Here's a nice guillotine into modified guard, and he gets a nice sweep out of this. We've seen this many times in UFC. George St. Pierre did this to Johnny Hendricks in round 1 of their fight. Here's me putting my head in the hornet's nest here. My head's a little low. He gets it into the guillotine area here. And look, he sits into modified guard. This is a beautiful, beautiful move. I really have nowhere to go. I have to roll, and he gets on top. A very, very good way to get somebody who's bigger and stronger than you on their back. Very, very effective move. I hope to do a tutorial on that in the future. Here's a partial sweep. Missed. He did a good job of getting to his underhook. Here I'm probably going to spin underneath here. Well, actually I have control. If I have control of both ankles, I won't need to spin underneath here. I'll just put his hips down to the ground and go straight into ankle lock attacks. And again, once you get to the outside Ashigurami, there's just so many moves to know. Outside Ashi is just it's one of the more complicated positions in Jiu-Jitsu. Lots to know in that position. Here we're back up to our feet. He gets a nice little underhook. I strip it away. Here's a nice little double leg. Again, there I felt I should have maybe dropped for a guillotine here. And there's a nice little transition to De La Riva. And again, I use De La Riva personally. I use it often as a transition. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen my MMA versus BJJ video where I put some MMA guys on top of a few BJJ guys. And I wanted to see what guards we would use against the ground and pound. And I did use De La Riva. I did, but very briefly. See here, this is the kind of De La Riva transitions I would use in a fight. Now, of course, in this particular role, it's just BJJ. But I really believe that De La Riva can work in a fight. I really believe so. If you use it as a transition and not a position. So here, I'm just going to use it to push him off me. I won't stay here long. I'll transition to the back. I'll use very classic jiu-jitsu, very classic sport jiu-jitsu. But I also find myself using classic sport jiu-jitsu in MMA training. So that's just food for thought for you guys who are doing sport jiu-jitsu and are thinking of maybe transitioning in the future to MMA. All right, guys, as always, I want to thank you for liking and sharing, and see you in the next episode. Thank you.
Bonjour, mon nom est Marc-Élie Toussaint, je suis entraîneur de sprint depuis 23 ans. Je travaille au niveau de la vitesse avec Georges Saint-Pierre depuis 4 ans. Je viens de tester le Tim Tam, c'est le meilleur instrument au niveau du relâchement musculaire que j'ai testé de toute ma carrière. Je le recommande à tous.
When you train a lot, you get tight. The best way to loosen up your muscle is the Tim Tam. Hi, I'm Georges Saint-Pierre. I'm using the Tim Tam machine after my training to help me with my recovery.